Welcome back to the Gospel Package. That was a nice song done by one of our finest gospel artists. On to this segment of the Gospel Package, I will be talking to one of Liberia's finest, as I said before going for the break. Minister, you're highly welcome to the Gospel Package.
Thank you, sir.
There are a lot of people out there that have been probably watching your videos, listening to some of your songs, audio, and they don't know you in person. I don't want to be the one introducing you on the show. Can you probably just start by introducing yourself?
Well, I'm Minister Kenneth the Nsiah. I'm a Liberian gospel musician. I'm a writer. I'm married with 2 kids. I stopped this far for further questions.
All right, Minister, being a gospel artist and being married, how do you cope with the 2 things at the same time? Being a family man also.
Actually, when there's time for everything in a man's life, in the sense that you will not always be a child. There will come a time that you have to take on responsibilities, and I think the time came for me to take on responsibilities. And
so it's like a career in your problem home. You're able to cope with all at the same time and work with them together.
Yeah. For my wife, she's understanding. Like they say, there is no perfect marriage, but you have to make it work, because when God is on your boat, the boat will never sink.
All right, Minister, there are a lot of your fans out there that have been following you. Some of them have been watching others. And they don't know much about you. Can you just probably tell some of your family background, where you grew up, the family you're from?
Yes, like I said earlier, I'm Kenneth the Nsiah. I'm a gospel artist. I'm a Liberian gospel artist. I'm proud to be a Liberian gospel artist. And my childhood days, my father is Mr. Alex Nsiah. My mother is Mrs. Ruth Phillips. And I was born in a home that I had uncles and aunts that actually had passion for music. And it's just that time came, I never spent most of my years with my mother. I was at the age of 5 to 6 years. I was taken from my mother, and I was catered to by someone who has played a major role in my life. Her name is Mrs. Evelyn Double. She actually molded me. Today I'm who I am by the grace of God. And all the times I spent around her, with all the years she took care of me, she trained me in a way that everything that comes along with life, I must obey it, I must do, I must reject certain things that are not good, in the sense that we came out in a Christian home. Just that we came out in a Christian home, and because of that, certain things we weren't doing at the time, because why? We are reserved. So later on, my father decided to take us from here and took us to Ghana. At the time I was here, I attended a couple of schools. I attended the Hayward Mission on the Oro, and later I enrolled at the Nsiah David Memorial School, and I was at Nsiah David when I left for Ghana. My father took us to Ghana, and actually we went to Ghana for the resettlement program. Yeah, and the resettlement program actually it was not only going to Ghana for resettlement, but it was schooling, it was molding process, all at the same time. Because over the years I would stay there. We went to school, we learned some things, we got some trainings. It came a time in my life being so close to the things of God. Time came, my what should I say? Should I say my association with my colleagues on campus led me astray in the sense that I had to go and do secular music. But before I started my secular music, I attended music school.
All right, Minister, I'm not taking it off from there, but let's just look at this way first. So when you were with your foster parent
Yeah,
at early age,
yeah.
so starting a musical career, was it in support of it?
Actually, yes, I would say except my father, because I will get to that. They were in favor of it some way, because every time I would have to sing at the church, we must go to church activities, and they would call me out to sing, they would call me out to give speeches or whatever in school, at the church. So it was like, but at the time, my passion was for music was so high, and there are two things I actually decided at the time I wanted to achieve. I wanted to become a agriculturalist, and I also had passion to be a pastor. So at the time I was small, people had prophecies on me that I'll become a pastor because of that. People like, you will be a pastor. But when I actually came to know myself, all those things died down. And
so you growing up with like two ambitions, you trying to be like a pastor and also an agriculturalist.
yeah.
Then what really inspired you of becoming a gospel artist? Where the inspiration came from?
Actually, when I started my music career at the time, it all happened when I was in school back then, because I had friends going out with friends from talent shows to the next talent shows, and at times when I sang, people like, you are so good, and I kept listening to those motivations. So I decided that, well, I'm going for music. And actually music has been into me ever since. It's just that my passion was to become a pastor and an agriculturalist. So when I actually got encouraged, now people started listening to me. Everywhere we go on talent show, people were like, Kenneth, you have to sing here today, you have to perform here today. So I felt like, well, I should go for it.
You said you started first like from in the church beyond your parents, they usually take you to church.
Yeah.
Then what led you from probably at an early age growing up in the church background, growing up secular son?
And that's peer pressure anyway. There comes a time in a man's life that you can have the best training from home when you get amongst your colleagues, because of the atmosphere and the environment. If you are not sensitive, you can like deviate from the doctrines that you have at home.
So it was like peer pressure that was like grinding you up. You live in the rightful path you grew up in. That good nurturing, your parent nurture you from an earlier age. You left from that whole circle and then go into it.
Yeah.
So how's the experience in the secular industry?
Actually, when I started, I got encouragement from one of my uncles. His name is Reuben Wesley. He told me that, man, you are so good, and I want you to go and after school, your academic school, I want to register you at a music school for you to learn music, because I see this is your passion. Everyone keeps talking about you. So I decided I had to go into music. So after my academic, every time after school, like 2-3 hours, I'll go to my music school, go do some learning. So at the time I was there, it was the same time that she's my colleague anyway, I call her my sister, Minister Bernice Blackie. Yes, we sat down in the same class where we were taught by a guy by the name of Fonanti. He's a music instrument all by himself. He's so good. He's a Liberian, and he taught us. And when I left the school now, I felt that I'm going to secular music.
So you're not just in the package of singing. So you got some other activity like probably playing the keyboard, the drum, or something else you can do. Besides
Yeah,
singing?
apart from singing, I play drums. Other things I do lay my hands on. Yeah, and apart from music, I've gotten some professional career trainings. Yeah, and apart from music, I'm a trained executive secretary. Apart from music, I did a little bit of journalism. So I got my hands laid on too many things.
Sometimes when you look at the gospel artists and you just feel like they ain't got nothing doing, that's the reason to kill them the time.
Yeah, that has been not only gospel artists. That has been
The mindset of
not the Liberians, but around the world, like family trying to raise up their kids and the kids trying to play football. The perception is that this is a career that is not good for you. I want you to be a lawyer. I want you to be a doctor. Why you want to choose this? And that has been how you call it, the mindset of the people.
For like say some part of the world now, if a child is growing up and you got certain talent in you, and you tell a parent to support in it. But for our own culture and our tradition right now, there are certain things you tell a parent will be like, this is a lazy book and do that thing, not serious for doing it. Especially for one now, like probably being a gospel artist, growing up and telling somebody say you want to become a gospel artist. It sounds worrying the person. Yeah, like
yeah, it's like you don't serious. All the money we're spending on you for education, you just want to sit there and sing gospel music.
Gospel music,
and I had that. All those years I have been singing. My father have actually been hearing it, but it was like not taking it serious until one time he called me and said, because when I came back to Liberia, he called me and told me that I heard that you are in Liberia. I said, yes, Daddy, I'm here anyway. And later on, few years, he called me back and said, oh, is it true that you are doing music? I said, why you ask? He said, your songs are playing here in the States and people keep talking about you. I said, yes. And it was like, how this whole thing started. I said that you knew about it anyway, but just that.
So
that's the rightful time now.
Let's get to this. After you left the secular side and then going into the gospel side, what really inspired you of doing your first song?
Actually, when like I normally tell people, when the call of God is upon you, it's upon you. My passion was for secular music, and when I was in Ghana, I met too many producers at the time who told me that they needed me to do gospel music. But by then, I said no, I want to do secular music. And the music at the time I was doing was country western. And no one at that time in Africa was actually interested into country western style of music, what you call blues, or in Ghana, I would say high life. No one was actually interested in the kind of music.
All right. Before you can continue, we'll take a very short music break, and after the break, our guest will be telling us most of his story. Take a very short break.